And welcome. It is our Clock in the Gallop preview with the ever busy Lyle Cooper, who folks on this platform like. So well done, Lyle. Not everybody in the world likes us. So when you get a few positive comments, you take them, eh?
It's unusual, but yes, we take them.
Yeah, punters are very demanding, as you know, but great to have you along. Before I even talk racing, of course, it's the PGA Championship starts today out at Kiowa Island. It looks very long. So I suspect you have to be pretty long off the tee. Plus, on top of that, it's right on the Atlantic Ocean. So, sure, it's going to be tough for golfers, eh?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be a great tournament as usual. And you and I are chatting off air. We're liking a little bit of Shoal Swartzel. Since I actually got to know him quite well through golf, and he's such a nice, humble man, and he's just so talented and brilliant, and nice to see him coming back to some form.
Yeah, he had a wrist injury, didn't he, for a good 2 years or so, and he lost his form, and that seems to be behind him.
Yeah, absolutely behind him. And I mean, those who've met him, he's just, you have to meet him to understand that. I don't think the pressure in that will really get to a guy like Charles. He really handles it very well. He's such a calm individual as a human being. But golf, it's harder than horse racing.
Yeah, I actually heard Graham Hawkins saying that yesterday, saying that you got to be crazy to be following the the toughest sports in the world, golf and horse racing, both playing and obviously from us punting them as well. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Thanks very much for your time. You were telling me, and by the way, we should have price boosted Battle Force on Tuesday because you banked it in jackpot. I liked it. Maybe we ended up trying to look for too much value, but well done. You tipped nicely Tuesday, but today's tougher.
I think today's even harder, Neil. And by the way, just as far as our horses were there, Adam, as he did like the two he did like his two horses in that race. So, our value bet didn't come through, but you should have seen how it looked in the parade ring as well. Really looked well. But as you say, we did go Battle Force in the end, and it did come through and win for us. Yeah,
well done. Well, let's get straight into it. I've got some soccershop.bet betting to give us some guidelines. So let's get straight into that with the first race and share the betting. I think Grimaldi is the favourite. Not a particularly successful raid to Durban for Paul Peter yesterday, but those horses might have had issues travelling. You've got Grimaldi here, but at 6.5 to 10, he looked a little bit skinny to me. This is a work riders race, however, so you've got to tread warily. What did you like in the first?
Yeah, as the card goes on, Neil, I'm going to stick into this favourite here because it's the only time on the card I can probably say to you with confidence. I think Grimaldi could be too good for them. Philip Malangeni rides for Paul Peter. Tries the course for the first time. And, Ricardo's come through from that Duke of Sussex Form 9 and 1, which we all liked, of course. Yes. When that second behind Shadow Creek's won again. And when I went into the form here, I thought that Grimaldi could be too strong for them. Number 1, Fort Commander. Number 3, Silly Fella, who's held by number 2. I think to follow him home, but I'm going to go confident in this race. I don't think you'll hear that from me too often today. Grimaldi to win race 1 and a banker in everything.
Okay, there we go. Well, that's easily dealt with. And you're right. On the Duke of Sussex form, he's subsequently franked it himself. He's got Silly Fella and Naval Guard, his stable companion, well beaten. So let's move straight on to the second race then. That, by the way, will be race 1, which is the first leg of the bipot. And clearly you're going to bank Grimaldi in the bipot.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to race 2. Now here, you've got the 12-horse Eastern Bell, who was even money, has eased a little bit in the market. And the reason for that is there's been some support for horses like Ancestral Prayer, Dance Lesson, Dancing Arabian, and even the Rose of Bashar. What did you like in this race, and what would you do in the bipot? I'll show you what I've got, actually. Well,
yes, please do.
I know, I wrote something here. Can you see what that says?
Stay out.
Stay out. That's what I thought of the race.
Well, it's amazing you say that because I wrote stay out from races 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah. Well, I know I've got a few later on, but this one was a challenge for me, I must say. What did you like in this race?
Well, Eastern Bell's got to be there and thereabouts. That fourth behind Sound of Warning, not a bad run at all. Last time out, there was a feature race. It was a Group 3, finishing fourth behind Good Traveller. So on exposed form, with that draw of 16 and Governor Board, Eastern Bell should be hard to beat at 15 to 10. But, horses like number 8, Dance Lesson, finished second on debut on Saturday, a length behind Our Dream of Genie. Number 6, you mentioned, Ancestral Prayer, good second by Devilish Dancer. There's been a winner from that form line already, riveting. And then, as you mentioned as well, number 16, who ran a decent second behind Rose Willow. But like you said, Neil, that second behind Rose Willow was beaten 3 lengths behind Rose Willow. If you go all the way back to number 2, Fourth Snow, has Rose Willow just in front of her, Fourth Snow. So where's Fourth Snow? 10-1. On paper, Fourth Snow should finish in front of number 16. I suppose they are both about 10-1, 7-1. So, yeah, Neil, I thought in the PA anyway, I went 12, 8, and 6.
12, 8, and 6. And you wouldn't want to add the 2 if you like a little bit?
Yeah, certainly, Neil. Yeah. What I do when I do my PAs, etc., is I make them smallish so the punters can add on. Yes. If I really made a PA that I liked, it would cost 1,000, 2,000 rand. So they can add on. Certainly, number 2 is the value. Yes.
Okay, number 2. Yeah, especially with Simunga Kamalo on. I rang him a couple of times, but yeah, that race had me a little bit stamped. For what it's worth, I thought Ancestral Prayer improved considerably last time. But you're right about Dance Lesson. That form line is not in the computer form, so double check that. That's why it's been backed from 14-1 into 7-1. But a very open second race. So for PA purposes, Lyle going wide and likewise Bipot, and I think that is advisable. Let's move on to the third race. And here we've got was 18-10, now 2-1, Hotchiwichi. I've got to be honest, Hotchiwichi wasn't in my first 4. I mean, this is the first time I'm looking at the betting this morning, actually. So I'm surprised to see Hotchiwichi is that short. Not to say that he can't win, but in my own form studying, I thought this was another open race. Lyle, what did you like?
Yeah, there were quite a few of them here, Neil. I mean, horses like 12 Oaks, who's sitting at 12-1 now. Nathan Klink for St. John Gray. If this daughter of Pathwalk can stay the 1,600, I do think that she'll be a bit of a runner. Lyrical Dance, back from a rest. Luke Ferraris for Mike de Kock. Although up in class, look at those last 2. Nothing wrong there. The 8 Hotchiwichi, there has to be some respect. The form lines are working out well. And all the way back to that debut form line, very, very strong form line. Hasn't done much wrong. And then also a horse like number 10, Lady Amherst. Good third last time out. Simunga Kamalo, you know, well, he's riding. Would have been 1.5 kilograms better with Ula Light. Some nice form there. So, you know, pin up, number 3. Rock You, number 4. Difficult race already, but I'm going to go narrowly with the Hotchiwichi because of those form lines from 5 Lyrical Dance and 6 12 Oaks.
Okay, 8, 5, and what was the third one?
12 Oaks, which is number 6.
8, 5, and 12. Right. So now this shows you how difficult this race is, because Lyle's gone 8, 5, and 12, right? And my first choice is 10 Lady Amherst. I respect Lady Amherst, but I've also thrown in a few roughies there. I do like 5 Lyrical Dance, by the way, but I've thrown in roughies right at the bottom even there. Number 7, Just Kidding, with Gabriel Peterson with no weight on. And I respect Rouge Allure. The only good horse that we know can't win is number 2, Eululate, because that's scratched. So
correct.
Other than that, it's an absolute nightmare. I mean, I see Rock Hughes run behind Porto Manzano, who's up and coming. Another very, very tough race. And that's the third race, which will be there for the first leg of the pick 6. So I'm not so sure that you can go too short there, unless you take your chances with your horse, Hotchiwichi. But would you take your chances and banker him in the pick 6?
No, I wouldn't know. I agree with you. I think Rock U is a big runner here in form. In fact, I think I bankered Rock U last time and it ran a very dismal race. But the form before, very strong.
Okay, yeah, another chappy race there. Very, very difficult race. And Lyle and I are suggesting perhaps you go wide. We have different first choices and different options in that race. Now, let's move on to the next race. And here they're betting 9-2 the field. It's a fillies and mares 72 divided handicap. Trattoria is the favourite, but she's got to shoulder 60 kilograms. There's money for Devilish Dancer, who you will remember. I don't know if you remember if I sent it to you, but I actually backed it last time and it won at 100-1.
Yeah, well done.
Purely because of how she's related. I think she's related to Dance Class.
She's Dance with the Devil's Daughter, of course.
Yes. So, yeah, I think she had just a great pedigree, and I thought, well, I'm not going to let that run loose. But I mean, here is a different question, of course. She takes on a very competitive field. Evening Rise, who goes well for Seister. Golden Spiral also ran well last time. I mean, this is just a nightmare race. Lyle, what do you like?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. I wrote you not easy at all. I'm going number 15, Sekhmet, as my first selection. and that is around 8-1. It's Warren Kennedy for Paul Peter. I like the last 2 races. Third run after arrest. Merit rating down to a 64 now. Has winners behind her in those last 2. So in a very trappy race, I'm going with her. I thought number 8, Essence, Craig Zaki. Where's Essence, Neil? There about 10-1. Craig Zaki for Canis Dawson. Seems to be improving with racing. Strong form line, that third behind Golden Spoon. Very strong form line. Craig Zaki, Canis from a decent draw in this 1600. And then horses like number 5, Unde Trois, Calvin Abib for Ashley Fortune, and the 1. And then some real value. I just want to see where's a Flame. Number 9, a Flame. I think a Flame could be a runner here, Neil. Is 5.5 kilograms better off with Unde Trois for a 2.5 length beating. Cold Dickon takes the 1.5 off for Robbie Sage. And I wrote you with the 5, Unde Trois, and number 8, Essence, must be a player. So, yeah, it just gets harder from here, Neil. It's not easy, but I'm going with number 15. I've got to take a chance somewhere. Sekhmet for me, number 15.
Okay, yeah, Sekhmet looks well in. Warren Kennedy, of course, riding. I'm interested that you've gone for number 9, a Flame. Maybe that could be one of our soccershop.bet value plays, our price boost, because I also liked it for the same reason. That if you like Essence is, I know Essence stayed at 71 after the maiden, but on the other maiden run when a Flame won, Essence is down 2.5 kilograms, and a Flame who beat her is down 4. So
exactly.
I also thought that was a little bit of value. So let's keep that in our locker, and we might use it a little bit later on. Very open race. For what it's worth, oddly enough, here, my first choice was the favourite, number 1, Trattoria. Not so much because of her recent form, but she ran second on debut to Puerto Manzano, and then she ran third to Sparkling Water, who's been taking her chances against horses like War of Athena. So, but it is a race that is basically 5-1 the field, so you've got to take your chances there. Just quickly to confirm, there's a scratching at the bottom here, Tartan Dancer. St. John Gray's had a number of horses that are scratched today. This one was also said, I think, due to a merit rating change, but he's done that with a couple of his today. So out goes Tartan Dancer. Okay, let's move on to, and it doesn't get any easier. We're now moving on to 25 minutes past 3, and the Racing Association Middle Stakes. Nebraska is the favourite. 4-1 has been backed into 7-2, so a favourite, but a weak favourite. Money for Techno Savvy from 10-1 into 6-1. And for number 12, Mirren, from 14-1 into 8-1. Those are the main movers. Lyle, what did you think?
Yeah, sure. Where do we start? Nebraska, I thought, was a player here. One of the favourites. I'm tipping Lyle Hudson for Sean Terry, dropping in class, 1,800. Has been 483 days since he's won. But maybe today, the way he's running, the contractors come out and won again. There was a good run last time out. His course and distance is good. When I had an interview with Sean on Tuesday, he did say that his stable seems to be coming right now. So that was a good sign from Sean. Nebraska, but I mean, there's so many with chances. Ivalo's Prince, I would probably be my value. Where is it sitting? Around 8-1. It's coming over about 8-1 into 7-1. Randall Simons rides for Paul Matchett. Over the page, number 8, Trend Master. It cannot leave the horse out. We'll have to see that Hochi Witchy form line earlier in the day. And then a horse like number 5, Imperial Master. Look at those last 3 efforts. And then number 12, Mirren. Might be my value. Where's it? 8-1 too. A lot of money for Mirren there, Neil. Into 8-1, not a lot, but from 12-1 to 8-1. Also could be a player. Very seldom will I sit on a fence in a race, Neil, but today, we've got some problems. I mean, what do you think about number 6, Reunion? He's been so disappointing.
He is an interesting horse. He has just been bitterly disappointing. And I mean, I think last time they were scheduled to run him with blinkers, and then they took the blinkers off. When he had the blinkers on, I was saying to Nico, well, maybe this is what he needs. But they took them off, and he ran another moderate race. And they haven't done any changes to him again. So I don't know why he should suddenly improve, apart from the fact that they're trying 1,800. But I think they must be getting a bit desperate now. I mean, he ran such a good debut and was so highly rated. But I mean, at the time when he got a 98 rating, I said that's daft. On one run is just daft. But he has been coming down. He's been coming down a bit. He's now off an 85. What was he last time? 89. Yeah, Gavin Arena stuck faith with him, maybe in an open race. I didn't really like the race. Just further down, Lady Calavera, I think, is a ridiculous price when she was at 25 to 1. She's now 20 to 1. She's got no weight at all. She's going 50 kilograms. It's a terrible race. You've got to go wide. Sure. So what should we do in the PA? I mean, how wide would you want to go here? You'd obviously want to put in your 7, your 12, your 4.
I'll tell you what I did in my PA, Neil. Race 2, 3, 4, and 5. You won't believe it, but what I do as well is I take different bankers in all of my exotics I take. And in my PA, I actually have bankered number 4 in a brass.
Okay. Yeah, that might not be a bad look. I mean, if you bank in a brass and it runs a place, then you're ahead of people, because not many people are going to be bankering in this race.
That's why I did it, Neil.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
but I mean, I banked it in the PA, but in the jackpot I went with 8 horses. So yeah, you've got to take a banker somewhere. And I thought, well, he's running so well. Terry did say that the stable's turning, so let's take a chance.
Okay, Nebraska PA banker, that 8 horses in the jackpot. That kind of sums up that race. Exactly. Let's move on to race 6. Now, he has an interesting horse, because I backed Poppycock last time. I caught the exactors with it. I wish it had won, actually. But at 28 to 10, ouch. Sure, I'm not so sure I'll be running to take 28 to 10 about Poppycock. I mean, how old is he? He's a 5-year-old. Listen, he's got Kamala on, which is a huge jockey strike. What did you like here? By the way, one scratching, number 5. Number 5, French Leave, is out. What did you like here?
Well, fair enough. I've eventually ended up going with Poppycock. I think the last 3 are probably the best form in the race. His merit rating down to a 59. Samanga Kamalo aboard. That has to be a big plus. 2,800 meters, I don't think is going to be a problem. I've always liked him, and he's always been, for me, disappointing, because I've always put him into my places and into my PA, and he's been a disappointing horse. But maybe he's getting it all together now, and I think he's going to be a big runner here. And he's so nice to watch and see. You'll never miss him in the race, number 7. Number 6, Twice as Act, who holds number 3, Ration My Passion. That'll go in seconds. I mean, you're not going to find me being too adventurous here. And then Ration My Passion could really improve. I'm trying to think of my value here would be, I don't think there is any value for me, Neil. I'm going to go 7, 6, 3, 4, 2 and be very boring with my tipping.
Okay, 7, 6, 4, 2 for Lyle. 3, 2. 7, 6, 3, 2.
Yeah.
I can see why Poppycock's been backed, but as I say, I went to the well last time. I'm not so sure I'm going to go back there again, although that was an excellent run. And I think the horse might have even been under sufferance that day. But I thought number 8, Chevron, was also a bit of a jockey strike. It's been having Colin Jacobs on, who claims 4. He's now got Lyle Hewitson on, and David Nevenhuizen's a bit of a shrewdie. And in fact, at the sales, he popped in to chat to myself and Nico and said, "Stop tipping my horses, because you guys are too clever. You follow my horses." So he said, "Well, we rate you, and your horses are always good value." And here's another one, Chevron, who I think is excellent value. But French Leave is scratched. That's the only thing I can tell you in that race. Another very open contest. But Lyle is going with the money. Number 7, Poppycock, with Kamala upgrading, and he might well be spot on from 33 to 10 into 28 to 10. Okay, let's move on to the penultimate race, race 7. And here, Severescent is the 2 to 1 favourite. It's Smunger again, this time for Alec Laird. He's a give me the green light, 3rd run after a gelding. Looks set to run a good race here. Crown Guardian, however, has been nibbled from 3 to 1 into 28 to 10 for his owner, Colin Govan-Summy. And after that, they bet basically 5, 6 to 1 the field. Just a quick reminder in this race, number 1, Portico, no blinkers. They've taken the blinkers off Portico, and that's it. I think that's the only change we have there. So what about this race?
Again, Neil, there's a few with chances, and excuse me for being boring again, but I thought Crown Guardian, 3rd behind Full Velocity last time, was a quarter of a length behind number 9, Severescent, is half a kilogram better. So there really isn't much here between the 6 and the 9. And I can see why they're both at the top of the boards. Number 8, this is written in stone at 6 to 1. This could be the value horse, because it was 0.3 of a length behind Crown Guardian, half a kilogram better off. So I could say the same, 8, 9, and 6. There's really not a lot between them. Luke Ferraris does duty here for Brett Weber. So at the price, definitely the 8 would have to be a player. And then I thought Sing for Nico, at around 12 to 1 would be my value bet. Yeah, I like that last win. Henny Kraling, I always say that he's an underrated jockey, and he gets a chance here on Horse in Form. He did get a win on Tuesday. I thought place chance, possibly even a small winning chance for the 3 Sinfonico.
Okay, Sinfonico is a bit of value. I'm going to agree with you on the value in number 8, Written in Stone. I really like some of his form lines that he's worked out. He's no spring chicken anymore. He's a 5-year-old, but he's got some good course and distance form. And Luke Ferraris, obviously, riding. It's the first time Luke has ridden for him. First time he's ridden him, as in Written in Stone. He's ridden twice for the Weber Yard without success, but I think it could be third time lucky today. So again, maybe that's one we'll remember for our soccershop.bet price boost. Maybe ask them for a little bit of a stretch on Written in Stone. Open race again. And sure, every race is a surprise. Interesting, some long shot money there for Silver Spectrum, who is from 25 to 1 to 20 to 1. But we'll move on to the last race. And sure, probably the toughest race. By the way, number 5, Certifiable, is a late scratching. So Lyle and I have been updated to that this morning. So you can take out the third favourite, number 5, Certifiable, is scratched. And also, if I go down further on, I think 17 is undisclosed, is also scratched.
Yes.
So that's the emergency runner. Number 18, therefore, will come in informative. But going back to the top of the market, Successful Secret is 9 to 2. You surprised to see that at 9 to 2?
Yes, I am, Nico. Yeah, it's such an open race. 60 kilograms, giving the field weight here, not going to be easy.
Me too. I'm also surprised it's that short.
Not going to be easy.
But a little touch of money for Blue Eyes. What did you like in the race?
My first selection is number 15, the Villa Grand. Paul Matchett, Craig Zaki, daughter of Willow Magic. She's drawn nicely at 15. Those last 3 runs have been very promising. And she's got winners like Glotoria, Lagertha behind her. I think she's got a nice chance at 55.5 kilograms. And my second selection actually is number 2, Vara Glow, the son of Var. He's trading around 12.5 there. Luke Ferraris for Candice Dawson. And although he's been midfield the last few years, merit rating's coming down. He's got a good course and distance run, dropping in class. He's 5 kilograms better off with Country Squire, who could be a runner as well, as you mentioned. It's one of those races. And then also horse like number 4, Global Ransom. The word is 8 to 1. Chase Majan, Paul Peter. I like that win there on debut. And although well beaten by Porto Manzano, 2 good runs around it, and just could be more to come. But like you said, Neil, I think it's the hottest race on the day. I'm going to go with number 15, the Villa Grand, and number 2, which is Vara Glow.
Okay, so there it is. Also, for what it's worth, I liked a little bit of Vara Glow. I thought it was quite a big price at 14 to 1, but it's a very open race. I had a complete lunatic, which I've got to go down here to find.
You want to see this?
The Fifth Wave.
Number 11.
Yeah, I like the fact that the blinkers have gone back on. The only problem is that she's drawn 1. And I don't know at this stage whether that's going to be a negative. It might well be. So if there is any course advantage or bias, we'll know that after a couple of seconds. And that might negate her. So I would advise punters, Lyle, and I'm sure you'll take this advice as well, and you're working out there today, is that perhaps we wait and see, before you put your PA on, wait and see what happens in that first race, because it's over 1,400 meters, which is up the straight, and it might just give us an indication of where the draw is. Particularly, Grimaldi has drawn 5. So that is going to run a good race anyway. But what happens behind Grimaldi will be interesting. Who follows it home and where the draws are. And if the draws of 1 and 2 struggle, but the draws of higher of 11 and 12 do well, then just bear that in mind. Unfortunately, we're going to only have the one race to learn that, because the PA starts in race 2.
Correct. But as far as the pick 6 is concerned, Neil, I'll speak to the jockey who wins race number 2 and just get their opinion on it as well, as to where they're going. So we would have had race 1 and 2 to watch, and I'll chat to the jockey before we put our pick 6s on, which I think is going to pay very nicely this afternoon.
Okay, so in terms of our price boost, we must learn from not getting clever last time. We like Battle Force, and we try to reinvent the wheel a little bit. But here there was that one horse that we both like. Where was that race that I said we must remember?
In race number, got a feeling it was in race
Old age,
number.
terrible thing. It was quite early on, I think.
It was. Let me go backwards. I'm going the wrong way. We both liked a little bit of Rock You, but that's not the horse. Race 2, we liked a bit of the 8, the 6.
And in the last race, we both like a little bit of Vara Glow, but I think that's probably too. We'll mention it, but it's too big an out. Written in Stone, we liked race 7, number 8.
Thank you. Race 7.
There was another one earlier on, and you know by now people are saying, "Oh, come on, you guys! We just listened to you say it, and now you've forgotten it."
Yeah. They remember what horse it is.
Oh, a Flame. It was a Flame.
A Flame. What race is that, Neil?
Race 4, number 9.
There we go.
So what we're going to do, I'll ask Lance, Michael, and Jason and the guys to give us a place bet on a Flame to give you a price boost on the place, race 4, number 9, because we're going to get 4 places, and then each way on race 7, number 8, Written in Stone, a win and a place.
I like that. I like that, Neil.
Right.
It's a good one. Good too.
Okay, so those are the stories. I'll let you go. You've got to drive out and dodge the protests.
Apparently protests, yep.
Yeah, there's service delivery protests.
Yeah, you never know which way to go.
Yeah. Okay, matey. Thanks very much. I know you're going to be glued like me to the PGA. It's going to be fantastic and very, very open contest. Charles Schwartzel, certainly from a South African perspective, we like. But gee whiz, anything can happen. You know, there's some good young golfers out there. Victor Hovland, some of the new guys on the block. Even this European sensation is playing there, so it's going to be fantastic.
Well, it's like a horse race with 160 players, isn't it, Neil? 160 horses. It's not easy.
It's not easy. Anyway, Lyle, thanks very much. As always, have a great day, and thanks again for standing in for Nico.